at Boone Pickens Stadium in Stillwater as the Oklahoma State Cowboys set to take on number 2 Texas. And the third member of our broadcast team, Craig Sager, with more on Mack Brown.
Well, for those who questioned whether Texas would ever return to national prominence and doubted if Mack Brown was the right coach to lead them, the #1 ranking in the BCS standings speaks volumes and silences critics. Mack Brown has built a program with everything in place: talented players, innovative staff, marvelous facilities. The season ticket base has doubled to $67,000, and last year his football program raised $62 million of the athletic department's $80 million budget. Mack Brown is cool, he is confident, and he has secured a 10-year contract extension that was given to him the day before beating Michigan in the Rose Bowl and prior to ending a 5-year losing streak against Oklahoma. Mack Brown and Texas, the right man at the right place at the right time. Ron?
Excellent point, Craig. And of course, Mack Brown said it's taken him about 3 to 5 years to become comfortable as the UT head coach, but he says he's lightened up this year. In fact, he's downloaded about 2,000 songs on an iPod, and he says, I now know who 50 Cent is.
Yes, and he corrected a reporter who questioned him about it, said it's not 50 Cent, it's 50, as the fellas like to call him. So Mack is now Mack Daddy Brown.
Mack Daddy Brown. And the head coach, 37-year-old Mike Gundy of Oklahoma State, 4-year starter, as we talked about, at quarterback here. Had a couple of 10-win seasons, ended his career as the all-time passing leader. He's got a very bright future. He's got a plan. He's sticking to it. And we're going to talk more about that as the night goes on. Texas won the toss, and they have deferred. Greg Johnson will kick it away. And back Daniel McLemore and Grant Jones. McLemore, number 2 in the Big 12, number 9 in the NCAA in kickoff returns. It is a windy night in Stillwater. Johnson will be kicking with the breeze right at this point. The left footer gets a high end over ender. It'll be McLemore about a yard deep. Breaks free. Oh, takes a wallop right at the 20-yard line. Greg Johnson is the one who lowered the boom, the kicker. Now the Oklahoma State offense now using the spread offense. Quarterbacks Al Pena in for the injured Bobby Reed. Started his career at Georgia Tech. But, Charles, I think the key for him tonight, he cannot force things. Already 9 interceptions on the year.
In the last 2 ball games, 10 turnovers by Al Pena from himself. 8 interceptions, 2 fumbles. So he has to take care of the ball to give his team an opportunity to win tonight.
Mike Hamilton joins him in the backfield, and they'll go from the shotgun. Rolling out to buy some time. The pressure comes. Pena's pass almost picked off at the 28-yard line. Robert Killebrew got a hand on it. Now the rest of this Oklahoma State offense, their line, have their hands full tonight. Corey Hilliard is the best at right tackle, was honorable Big 12 last year. And in the skill positions, Mike Hamilton, a redshirt freshman from Melbourne, Florida, is 6th in the Big 12 rushing, averaging just about 73 yards a game. And he's only a redshirt freshman. Now Sean Willis comes in at fullback and is in front of Hamilton.
You notice Al Pena looking at the sidelines a lot. That's how he gets the call. They come to the line. He checks with the coach. They tell him to either run the play or check off.
Texas with 6 on the line. Hamilton gets 1 block, gets over the 25 up to the 28-yard line. Michael Huff, the senior out of Irving, Texas, his first tackle. Texas defense, they never get rattled. They just keep coming at you. The line is deep. The front 4 outstanding. Roderick Wright, 2nd team, Big 12 last year. The linebacker starts right in the middle with Aaron Harris, a preseason All-American, and the way he's playing, that should probably come true. And the defensive back, like the linebackers, it starts in the middle with Michael Huff, and he is one of the best safeties in college football today. 3rd down for the Cowboys. Pena lets it go right away. Almost picked off again at the 32-yard line. Michael Griffin got a hand on it. Couldn't come up with it. So the Cowboys will be forced to kick it away.
Watch Aaron Harris in the middle, number 2, the middle linebacker. Rotates over and helps break up the play just by his presence. Tommy Devereaux, number 10, the intended receiver, saw the big number 2 in white coming over, and that took his concentration from the ball to Aaron Harris. That's not what you need to do if you're a receiver. Pass broken up early by the Texas Longhorns.
That Bodge, a true freshman, is the punter. Here come the Longhorns, and they got a piece of it. They use that spread formation that we're seeing more and more in college football. And Charles, I don't think we've seen it work yet.
Well, you know, teams swear by it. Mike Ayers, the head coach at Wofford, put it into play. But unless you go as the front wall guy, see right there in the middle, unless you go attack people, that allows them to get into the face of the punter. Made it very difficult for Matt Fodge to get that punt off.
Michael Griffin got a piece of it. The Longhorns have great field position taken over right at the 50.
See if they attack early here, Ron.
They keep it on the ground, nothing doing. Selvin Young is stacked up right at the line of scrimmage by a fired-up Jamar Ransom. Now the Texas offense, their line is one of the best in all of college football. Left tackle Jonathan Scott, a 4-year starter. Dad Ray, by the way, played in the NFL. The skill positions, they have the best collection of wide receivers Texas has had in years. Limas Sweet, his first collegiate touchdown versus Ohio State was a big one. Didn't have any catches, though, last week versus Texas Tech. Second down, they actually lost about a half a yard. Young rolls right, throws left, complete, up over the 40-yard line to the tight end David Thomas, the senior out of Wolforth, Texas. That is his 22nd reception on the year.
Great read. Safety blitz coming from Oklahoma State. Donovan Woods, number 8, came from his safety position. And it's a great read by Vince Young because he had David Thomas running exactly into the vacated area. Wide open, completes the pass. First down for the Longhorns.
Well, Thomas didn't have a catch last week against Tech. Broke a string of 13 consecutive games. On first down, Vince Young wings it out far side. Carter gets down to about the 32-yard line. Now this Oklahoma State defense, they switched from a 4-2-5 to a 4-3. Victor DeGreat moved from linebacker in the spring. He leads the defensive line in total tackles. Paul Duran in the linebacker spot. He's the brains of the defense, always at the right place at the right time. And in the secondary, they're going to be tested. Jamie Thompson's a big-time hitter, and he leads the team in total tackles. Very methodical march so far for Texas. On second and short, they'll keep it on the ground, and the Cowboys are there. Outstanding job from that line. Leading the charge was Ryan McBean, the junior college transfer out of Euless, Texas.
Terrific job by Ryan McBean, number 93, crashing down, beating on that play Justin Blaylock, number 63. He got what they call across his face, beat him to the front, and met the zone play about at the point of the handoff. Terrific job by the defensive tackle.
They're down in 7. Young, straight drop, plenty of time over the middle, wide open, dropped at the 20-yard line. Ramon Taylor had it right in his hands. That would have been a first down, and he had some running room, couldn't capitalize.
Oklahoma State elected to rush 4 and drop 7. Ramon Taylor working inside against what they call cover 2, too deep. And he's well in front of the safeties. And that's a ball that obviously should be caught. Vince Young put it right where it needs to be. Coach Brown doesn't look real happy about that one, does he?
No, he didn't, because he had such a great play, a good defensive play by Oklahoma State, but they should have had the first down, and they're going to attempt a field goal. They'll mark it at the 42-yard line. It'll be a 52-yarder for David Pino. His long is 42, and it is blocked. Oklahoma State has it, and they are fired up in Stillwater.
I think the pressure came right up the middle. Looks like number 93, Ryan McBean. See right there? Penetrated, knocked it back. Pino got the ball back, but had no place to go with it. Great job by Oklahoma State, and they helped change field position, too, from where they started their first drive.
They got a pretty good special teams coach. His name is Mike Gundy. He's taking over the special teams. Well, Oklahoma State will try to get something going offensively. They go right up the middle. Good job on first down by Mike Hamilton. We have a penalty flag.
Might have a little too much zeal at the end of the play.
Yeah.
Saw guys getting after each other. Shouldn't speculate, but I saw David Koenig, number 61, engaged for Oklahoma State.
Dead ball, personal foul after the whistle. Number 61, Orange, 15 yards, second down.
The offensive linemen always talk about finishing blocks.
Yeah.
You know, they go until the, as they say, the echo of the whistle. That time he missed the echo by a little bit, still trying to get after the defense. And you know emotions are running high for Oklahoma State, especially after blocking the field goal, stopping them on defense. Offense gets a chance to go back out there. Had a nice run on first down. Now they cost themselves.
Cost themselves big. Second down and 18 now for the Cowboys. Ito looks over, checking with Gunnar Brewer. He's the wide receiver coach. He relays the signals down from the press box. On the ground again, Hamilton looks for one block, doesn't get it, but he does get up to the 40-yard line. So he picks up about 7 on the play. Cedric Griffin, the senior out of Holmes High School in San Antonio, Texas, coming up to make the stop. But that has to be something that Mike Gundy is concerned about, because your margin of error is slim, and you talk about the perfect storm. You can't have that kind of thing. Every yard you're going to have to fight for tonight.
You got to earn them, and you cannot allow any mistakes that takes you back from what you've gained.
Boy, Texas is jumping all over the place on defense, trying to confuse Pena.
Here comes the check from the sidelines. Pena now calling it out to his offense.
And they stick with the ground game. Hamilton again, up over the 50, short of the first down, but not by much. Good first hit by Marcus Griffin, twin brother of Michael Griffin.
And because of this run by Mike Hamilton, look at the blocking at the point of attack, and then downfield. Wide receiver Ricky Price, number 6, engaged. If you're Mike Gundy, do you think to yourself, let's go for it? Great block by Ricky Price on Aaron Ross, number 31. Mike Gundy has a little bit of a reputation already as being a gambler. Well, when you're playing the number 2 team in the country and you've lost 4 in a row and you're at home, you think about going for it.
Well, Texas has about 25 in the box. They're going deep. Has a man wide open. Texas is going to get beat by DeJuan Woods. His 3rd touchdown pass, Charles.
And what they did was they came out of the huddle very fast and came up to the line of scrimmage, hoping to confuse Texas with the speed of getting set up, wanting Texas to kind of go, oh, okay, who's got who? Who's got what? I've got him, I've got that. And then they fake the ball inside and throw it over the top. DeJuan Woods wide open, and that will do a world of confidence for Al Pena, the quarterback, and the rest of the Oklahoma State Cowboys football team.
Bruce Redden's extra point is good. So on 4th down, the Oklahoma State Cowboys strike on Pena to DeJuan Woods, his 4th touchdown reception of the year. Courtesy of that man right there, Al Pena. One thing that Oklahoma State has to be very cautious of, though, you want to get pumped up, Charles, but when the emotion goes, you still have to execute. You can't get too high in this situation.
Well, they needed the emotion that the touchdown generated to add to their belief in trying to win this ball game. But it's a great point that you made. Now they have to continue to play football and execute. No silly penalties, no turnovers, all those things that can hurt them against the ultra-talented Texas Longhorns. They're off to a roaring start, though.
Redden kicking it away to Ramon Taylor and Quan Crosby, and it's a very, very short kick. Taylor right up the middle, over the 35-yard line to the 38-yard line. Well, the last 2 years, Texas has had to come. This Texas team does not get rattled. Young, plenty of time, just swings it out to the side, incomplete, intended for Jamal Charles, who's been nicked up the last couple of games, limited in the last 3 contests. He's going to be a special player. A true freshman out of Port Arthur, Texas.
2 drops now we've seen from receivers of Vince Young in the first 2 series of the game. Ramon Taylor, big drop on 3rd down on the first series. Jamal Charles on that one.
Second down and 10. Charles still in the backfield with Young. Oklahoma State brings 4. Young just tucks it and goes. Has some running room close to the first down. Will be about a half a yard short. Roderick Johnson coming up to make the stop. The sophomore out of Galveston, Texas, Ball High School. Our 1st and 10 line is brought to you by Napa. The yellow is the 1st and 10 line. Orange is the line of scrimmage. So you see Texas has just about a yard. The crowd back on their feet. They got the first down. They go with Henry Melton, the big true freshman out of Grapevine, Texas, all 270 pounds of him. He's going behind that line that averages about 314 pounds.
And may be the best offensive line in the country. We're going to see USC next week. We'll be able to form quite an opinion after we see that one, but it's hard to believe there would be a better one in the country than the one we're seeing tonight wearing white. That's Will Allen, number 72, honorable mention all Big 12 last year, helping lead the charge.
On first down, Young will go from the shotgun. Going right down the sideline, pass intended for Quan Crosby, incomplete. You know, you talk about that offensive line. Visiting with Greg Davis yesterday, he made a pretty bold statement. He said it is the best he has seen in 33 years. They're like a chorus line.
Yeah, and when he talks about a chorus line, meaning the way that they move in synchronization. Everyone knows where to step at the right time. You saw the numbers there. Those are impressive numbers in scoring. Yards per game rushing, yards per game passing. And one of the best offenses in the country because of that offensive line setting the tone.
They're called the Trench Hogs. Second down and 10. The pitch. Charles tries to turn the corner. Nothing doing. May have lost a yardage. Jamar Ransom on his second stop of the night. The senior out of Andrus High School in El Paso, Texas. Let's check in with Craig Sager.
Well, Charles, we're talking about what that touchdown did to the sidelines on the Oklahoma State side for the emotion of the game. Dwayne Aquina grabbing his defense. He's a co-defensive coordinator, head of defensive backs. He said, guys, that was a great call. You got burned. You weren't ready. If that's what it takes to fire you up, so be it. Right?
You can probably appreciate that, Charles.
Oh, yeah, and I'm quite sure that the words that Coach Aquina used and the emotion, Craig cleaned it up real well for us right there.
Probably more than that. Selvin Young now with Vince Young in the backfield. Vince has running room, has a blocker in front of him, crosses the 40, over the 30, into the 20, needs one block, cuts back inside the 10, down to the 6. That's what makes him so dangerous.
Couldn't ask for a better situation if you're Oklahoma State, 3rd and long yardage. The problem is number 10 is at quarterback, and look at him directing traffic. And Selvin Young, number 22, getting out ahead and throwing a key block. He ends up rambling 45 yards on a 3rd and 12 play, 3rd and 11 play, and sets up Texas in business at the 7-yard line. You know, just when you think you got him, Ron.
I know.
He uses his legs to escape.
Young now in the backfield. He doesn't have to run now to win ball games. He just runs to make plays. Young looking for the end zone, reaches forward, waiting for a signal. We got a penalty flag. Everybody standing around trying to see what happened.
Holding White, number 16. 10-yard penalty from the spot. Means first down.
Well, David Thomas had a grip on Paul Duran, I think, there.
Yeah, Paul Duran, the linebacker for Oklahoma State, wearing number 12. David Thomas, number 16 in white. A terrific blocker and pass catcher. I believe he got caught grabbing some cloth on this one. Look to the left of your screen. Right there. See it? Yeah, he's got a nice little grasp there. Good call by the officials as Selvin Young gets to the outside.
They put it on the 16. It's first down and goal. Young again in the backfield. 2 wide receivers set to the right. Young looking over the middle, taking his time, floating it, has a man wide open, and he overthrows him. Got a little bit too much underneath that. So Quan Crosby could not stretch that 5'11" frame any longer than he did.
And that's one of those plays where the quarterback had spotted the receiver, and Quan Crosby Cosby is back from playing baseball, and he's probably still learning how to run routes. Probably needed to sit down on that one when he got to the end zone and let him just rifle it in. As we look at the red zone offense for Texas, 26 touchdowns in 37 attempts.
Young just pulls it down and takes off. Penalty flag is thrown. Tries to get to the 10, but he's ushered out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. Calvin Mickens running him out, the true freshman out of Beaumont, Texas.
Holding, White, number 73, 10 yards, second down.
Well, Mac Brown saw his team flag for 14 penalties in the Missouri game. They only average about 8 a contest.
Big Jonathan Scott, second team All Big 12 last year, a preseason All-American candidate, one of the better offensive tackles in the country. Caught grabbing a little cloth on that one. The thing about this, with the penalties early, Texas is talented enough to overcome them. Oklahoma State can't get into the same type of game. You talked about earlier, no margin for error for Oklahoma State. They need to let Texas have the penalties all to themselves.
Second and goal. And a bunch. Little shovel pass. Young up to the 20-yard line. It'll bring a third down and goal from the 20. Pickup of 5 on the play. Roderick Johnson on the stop.
That was defended well by the Oklahoma State defense. That's Vance Bedford, their defensive coordinator, a proud graduate of the University of Texas. But he said, no split loyalties tonight.
Nope.
I perform for who pays my mortgage. And that was the Oklahoma State Cowboys. He's trying to get another stop here on 3rd and goal.
And it sits at the 20 from the shotgun again. 3-man rush. Young is hit as he throws it. Caught. Touchdown, Texas. David Thomas. Just when you think you have him against the wall, you have somebody like David Thomas, who has great hands, one of the most versatile players on this ball club, and Young just rifled it to him.
He had a lot of time in the pocket to set up and find David Thomas. Plus, he has the confidence that David Thomas will win a one-on-one battle going for the football. And Vince Young slotted it in there well. David Thomas came down with it.
Nope. We got some laundry. It'll go against Texas. Like the right side of the line was moving. That was Thomas's first touchdown reception since game 1.
Good ball. False start. He's 7 on the White, 5 yards. Beat the trot.
And we're going to try it again. Move back a little bit.
Mac Brown's got to be happy that the game could be tied with this extra point, but you know he's not very happy about the way it's occurred. Too many penalties against his team early. Vince Young's leg bailed him out on one, his arm for the touchdown. Oklahoma State has to find a way to get off the field on 3rd downs.
Pino has a 25-yard extra point. And it is blocked. Oklahoma State can pick it up, but they will be stopped at the 27-yard line, and they keep the lead at 7-6. Xavier Lawson Kennedy came in from the line to get the hand on it. David Thomas on the touchdown, Charles. He's got great hands.
Terrific hands, great body control as he beats Jamie Thompson for the touchdown. That ball was perfectly thrown. But now twice they've had kicks blocked, both by defensive tackles, penetrating through the front wall and knocking it away. The Oklahoma State Cowboys lead 7-6. And still
with Craig Sager and Charles Davis, Ron Poulin. Stillwater, Oklahoma. Boone Pickens Stadium still under construction. Doing a great job with the Cowboy fans. Homecoming weekend, they are thrilled. Next throw, he's back to receive the kick. From the 5, it's McLemore. He's 5'7" and can scamper. Up to about the 18-yard line. Let's take a look at the keys to the game. First of all, for Oklahoma State.
Well, first and foremost, They've got to protect their quarterback, Al Pena. Texas had 6 sacks against Cody Hodges in Texas Tech and put him down 23 other times. They got to have turnovers. They got to take care of the football, and they must create turnovers in order to help themselves on defense. And they've got to build the perfect storm. Offense, defense, special teams. Get to every bounce. Last year they had the perfect storm for the first 30 minutes of the game. Went to the locker room, had 35-14. They need it for 60 minutes tonight. They have to sustain it.
Penalty is declined. First down.
It was offsides against Texas. Mike Gundy says we're just going to take the ball right here.
And part of the perfect storm, we're already seeing brewing with Oklahoma State. 2 blocked a blocked field goal attempt, a blocked extra point. Those are winning plays to bring the crowd into the game. Right? Those are the types of bounces they have to get in order to have a chance to upset
Offside,
Texas.
kicking team by rule, 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, they changed it. By rule, they just added on immediately.
Right.
If we were just looking at each other going, declined it?
Yeah, I thought that was something that was just automatic.
Yeah. And the Oklahoma State offense will come out again. A lot different offense than last year's squad. This year they were looking to be a little more innovative, keep the defense guessing, and they're doing just that. They run right out. 4 wide receivers. This is something we didn't think we'd see. But they keep it on the ground. Hamilton again, who's had a nice night so far running the football. Griffin on the stop. Let's check in with Craig Sager.
Well, that touchdown reception by David Thomas was the 13th of his career. That breaks the record for a tight end at Texas that he shared with Pat Fitzgerald. It also adds to his credentials for the John Mackey Award as the best tight end in the country.
I say you're right there, Sags. He is one of the best.
Because he does it all. He doesn't just catch passes, he blocks too.
Picked up a 15 on the play. Frazier in motion. Little play action. Pena buying some time, looking, tucks it, gets over the 46, and he scampers out of bounds before Aaron Ross lowered the boom on him. He got away from Ross. This is a much different offense than last year's team.
Yeah, last year, Les Miles, as the head coach, liked to mash. He wanted those big offensive linemen to be physical in the run game. Anything 3rd and short yards, he wanted to run for it. So the biggest adjustment has probably been for the offensive linemen because they're used to firing out and hitting people, and they're getting their heads inside and punching. When you're pass protecting, if you get your head inside and down, you get beat in pass protection. So they've had to make a major adjustment.
Well, they try to go straight ahead on 2nd down and short. They needed about 2, and Hamilton, who had 31 yards on 8 carries prior to that one, gets stacked up by Larry Dibbles, a sophomore out of Dallas, Texas. They call him the Nightmare, and for good reason. That whole front line, though.
Yeah, it's about Frank Ocamp, number 97.
Frank Ocamp,
yeah, he's been called the Nightmare and has been taken in under the wing of Roderick Wright. They're All-American, and Larry Dibbles, they just call him the 3rd starter at defensive tackle, starting most of last year. And Larry Dibbles, the big guy, he can play pretty well himself.
Now it's a big 3rd down play. They need a little more than a yard. Pass it out to the outside, over the 50, down to the 48, to the 47-yard line. Sean Willis, the sophomore fullback who used to be a defensive end.
What's happening on these good runs by Oklahoma State is that they are sealing the end and allowing their backs to get to the corner. On that play, that was number 78, Kellen Davis, blocking down, also getting help from number 82, Justin Waller, the 3rd tight end.
Pickup of 6 on the play. Another 4 wide receiver set. High snap. And they still got a busted play. They get some running room with Hamilton. Inside the 20, down to the 15. That turned from disaster to great. 32 yards on the pickup.
That was one of those Apollo Creed plays. Why? Apollo called himself the master of disaster. And Al Pena and Mike Hamilton mastered what could have been a disaster on the snap on that play. And look at the receivers blocking downfield. That's DeJuan Woods, number 84, helping his running back get into the secondary.
92 yards rushing for Oklahoma State in the game. Texas only gives up 93 a game. They're keeping it on the ground with Gold. He gets down to the 5-yard line. Greg Gold, who's played a little wide receiver, a little running back. He's out of Irving, Texas, picks up 8, and the Cowboys are knocking on the door.
Left side of the line. caves them in. Watch down here, okay? Because the blocking comes this way, which allows the running back to get to the corner. Because they secure the point of attack on the end. See that? And now it's nothing but space out front. And again, another nice block downfield by the wide receiver on the corner. Plenty of room for the running backs outside.
Second down and about 1. Gold down the backfield again. They toss to him. He gets a block. Gets inside the 5-yard line. The hit came in from Griffin, Michael Griffin. His second tackle already on the night. Let's see where they spot it. It was close to the first down. It's right on the 5. And it will be a first down.
This time Texas secured the line of scrimmage and the point of attack much better. That was number 8, Cedric Griffin, playing well on the corner, holding up the runner, no place to go. That allowed Michael Griffin to get inside the tackle. Red zone for Oklahoma State, a little bit different than what we saw for Texas. Only 11 touchdowns and 24 chances in the red zone.
And Julius Crossland's now in the backfield for the Cowboys. First down and goal from the 4. Texas stacks the box. Pena rolls, looks, throws, passes caught, and they're going to lose about a yard. John Johnson, the redshirt freshman out of El Dorado, Arkansas. Mike Gundy's squad, he knows the yards get very difficult inside the 20 against this Longhorn defense.
Got to find a way to get 6. That's Mike Gundy talking with Joe Wickline, the offensive line coach, on that play. What made that play for Texas was Michael Huff never retreating from the secondary, seeing the play in front of him, and coming underneath it for the hit.
Now it's Crossland and Willis in the backfield. On second and go, Crossland puts his head down, barrels forward. That's going to be a touchdown, Cowboys. Now they call Crossland a physical guy. He was recruited as a linebacker. We saw how physical he was. He just bowled himself in over the last 2-3 yards.
Well, that's his 9th touchdown of the season, and he's a short yardage goal line runner. People always wonder, can you run from the spread offense in that type of a situation? Well, they didn't run a spread there. They came in tight, secured the corner, and Julius Crossland ran with a lot of determination.
Bruce Redden with the extra point, and the number 2 team in college football finds themselves trailing here in quarter number 1. Now there was a personal foul called on Chris Simon of Oklahoma State on the extra point, so that's why they kicked off deeper. This is Taylor. He is going to be corralled right at the 30-yard line and will go down as another penalty flag is thrown.
That's really sensational coverage considering they kicked off from their own 20. And only gave up essentially an additional 10 yards before the flag on the return. Not even that. They didn't even get back to the 30-yard line. That's great coverage by Oklahoma State. Let's see what the flag is.
Face mask, 5 yards on the kicking team. First down.
Let's check in with Ernie Johnson. Well, of course, when Tennessee lost, Ernie led with Tennessee highlights. Georgia loses, and we don't see the Georgia highlights yet.
Look at the average yards on first down.
Very good.
Texas not even 2 yards on first down so far in this game. There's a pick.
Young picked off. Daniel McLemore has some running room. Down to the 16-yard line. Vince Young made the tackle.
The perfect storm is brewing for Oklahoma State. Great read by Daniel McLemore. Read the quarterback's eyes and didn't retreat from his corner position and actually came off of his coverage to work inside and picked off the errant throw. See how he came inside? The ball was too far for Billy Pittman to get to, and he brings it back before Vince Young tackles him. If I'm Mike Gundy now, I attack right away on offense. Crowd's with you, emotions with you, try and get something quick on offense.
McLemore's first interception of the year. Pena keeps it, and he's going to stroll into the end zone for a touchdown. Only 2 teams this year have been able to crack the 20-point barrier on Texas. He's not happy because Oklahoma State's just become the 3rd.
Could there be any better plays early for a quarterback whose confidence was shaky coming into the game to have happened? Al Peña's had a touchdown pass and now a touchdown run after 10 turnovers his last 2 ball games.
Well, he's a coach's son. He knows the ups and downs of football. He's been hanging around it since he was a little kid. To make that the biggest comeback in Texas history, but they're finding themselves down again.
Take a look at that, exactly as you mentioned, partner. 35-14 at the half. The touchdown Texas scored with 3 seconds to go in the half turned out to be huge. Vince Young to both skate. Texas wins 56-35, biggest comeback in Longhorn history. Look at that. Vince Young, Cedric Benson, now the Chicago Bears, 524 of their 600 yards. And the record since, that's the key. OSU, 4-6 since. Texas undefeated since that ball game.
Well, since 1993, 9 teams ranked 4 or higher have played Oklahoma State. They've won only once when they beat Oklahoma in 2002. The final was that 38-28, and Oklahoma was 2-3 in the polls at that time. A little adrenaline pumping there. Taylor's going to take a knee, and Texas will take over. 1st and 10 from their own 20. And Mike Gundy said, we played a perfect 30 minutes last year. We need to do it for 60 tonight. And there is still a lot of time. 2:27 left in the 1st. Young looking, plenty of time. Just takes off with that great speed and is ushered out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. All Duran coming up to make the stop, who led the team in tackles in 02 and 03. How about that? 30 points in the 1st quarter through the first 6 games. They hang 21 on the 1st tonight.
Well, if you're looking at it from a Texas perspective, this is where their poise and maturity comes back into play. They've demonstrated it since last year. Going into the Texas Tech game, the Oklahoma State game coming back, Michigan coming back in the 4th quarter, and the number 10 has the ball in the open field. That takes care of a lot of poise and maturity, partner.
I'll tell you what, as long as he's got the ball in his hand, he's going to scamper. He goes about 45 on that play.
And when we talk poise and maturity, Vince Young threw an interception, remember? Last series. He also made the tackle on that play. So when Texas comes back out, what do they do the first 2 plays? Obviously, the ball goes in his hand since he's the quarterback, but 2 plays were called with them designed for him to make the play. First was a pass. He ended up running it. Second one, he just takes off and goes. Let number 10 get his feet back under him and confidence of the team.
Already 100 yards rushing. Jamal Charles, no place to go, gets over the 30 down to about the 28-yard line before he's stacked up by a number of different players. They're just going to keep playing hard. That's what Texas does. I mean, this is great for Oklahoma State, obviously, but this Texas team, they know that everybody is gunning for them. Everybody has thrown every kind of defense at them, and all they know is they're going to go on their instincts and what they've learned since last year. Yeah,
and for the Oklahoma State defense, they have to take the Hippocratic oath here, Ron. First, do no harm. In other words, do your job, and don't get so excited you try and do too much.
Young's pass in the flat, incomplete. A little pushing and shoving going on. Lima Swede was the intended receiver.
See, what happens often is when you get so emotional, Oklahoma State's in a position they probably didn't expect to be in right now. You get so excited, you try and do a little more than you're supposed to. Get yourself out of position. Try and do someone else's job. Do your job. Trust your teammates to do their job. Thus far, it's worked quite well for the Cowboys.
3rd down and 9. Selvin Young now in the backfield.
David Thomas is the go-to guy. That's him right there, the tight end.
Young looking right, walking it towards the end zone. Incomplete, pass overthrown. Intended for Taylor. Had a little too much height on it. And that'll bring up a 4th down. Good hit, though, by Chase Holland, who was on the coverage.
This is 2 times tonight that a receiver's been up in the air and been in a position to absorb a big hit by an overthrown ball by Vince Young. Lamont Taylor very fortunate there that Chase Holland, number 14, didn't really get all of it. See that? He had a chance to really stroke him right down the middle of that 11 on his jersey. He only caught a portion of it.
This will be a 45-yarder, which will be a career long for David Pino.
2 blocked already tonight. Penetration up the middle on both of them.
Good snap, good hold, kick on the way, and it is good. Pino with a new career long and field goal, 45 yards. Cuts the lead down to 21-9 with 1:21 to play here in the opening quarter.
Texas breathes a sigh of relief, but Ryan McBean, number 93, had gotten penetration again on that kick. Fortunate to get it up and through the posts.
Longest 14-game win streak started last year after the loss to Oklahoma. That was 12-0, and began with the win over Missouri. It's the 3rd longest win streak in Texas history. And the last time UT had a win streak this long, Mack Brown was trying to play running back at Florida State, and Mike Gandy was in Pampers, I think. Or Mike Gundy was in Pampers. It's been a while.
You're trying to say it's been a little while for them?
Yeah.
Well, I'm interested now to see Oklahoma State on offense. You know, Texas is going to feel a little bit better about themselves. Got some points on the board, had a decent drive. I want to see what Mike Gundy decides to do with his offense at this point. He and Larry Fedora, their offensive coordinator.
Side winding kick about 3 yards deep. They're going to go ahead and bring it out with McLemore. Michigan's taking on Northwestern tonight. Here's the well, now you got Craig Sager, really the Wildcat, whimpering down over here too. First down from the 15-yard line for the Cowboys. They've had success running the football. They have a little razzle and a little dazzle. Tommy Devereaux gets up to about the 20-yard line. He ran probably 40 to get 5. And Robinson on the top. Stop.
A lot of people think that when you are playing a team that appears to have a lot more talent than you, that you have to go into a shell on offense. So strictly vanilla. But what they've done so far is run their offense and have been successful running basic plays. That little razzle-dazzle play there, that's just to let Texas know they have it in the arsenal. You know, try and keep them a little bit off balance, too, on defense.
Longhorns with 9 in the box. Oklahoma State still going to try to run it. This time they follow over the left side of their offensive line. Able to pick up a couple of yards. Hamilton again. Hamilton closing in on 100 yards rushing already tonight.
You're Oklahoma State. You have to be real excited about this play. You know why? Because you're getting blocking, as you're seeing here, from DeJuan Woods, number 84, on the corners by the wide receivers, but it's the up front guys who blocked a 9-man front for a first down. That has to give Oklahoma State a lot of confidence.
That's the first down, and Pena looks over again. They're changing the play. Hamilton again. Still able to pick up about 3 on the play. Cedric Griffin with 3 stops already tonight from that right cornerback spot.
I think for Texas, they're up front guys, one of the better defensive lines in the country. They're having a little bit of trouble right now with the offensive line of Oklahoma State. So that means the cornerbacks and the linebackers have to get a little more involved. On that play, Cedric Griffin did. Excellent run support from the corner. As we're getting ready to run out the clock here in the first quarter.
I think they're going to let it run down the final 6 seconds, but what a first quarter for Mike Gundy and the Oklahoma State Cowboys. They will head to quarter number 2 with the score that Texas 21-9. Of course, Georgia also in that BCS race. They have already lost. UCLA undefeated. They are losing at halftime to Stanford 7-3. Now we have the number 2 team in the country, number 1 in the BCS. They too are struggling. Interesting day in college football. Second down and 6 for the Cowboys. Pena, little 3-step drop, quick look-in pass up over the 40 to the 41 to Brandon Pettigrew, the redshirt freshman out of Tyler, Texas. His 7th reception of the year. If you take a look at the first quarter numbers, and I think what surprises all of us, Charles, is that 138 rushing.
Yeah, right there for Oklahoma State. That's kind of a return to their roots of the last couple of years with Les Miles. Another good one is right there. No turnovers for Oklahoma State. Exactly what they need to have happen as the perfect storm continues to brew for the Cowboys.
Willis and Hamilton in the I formation. Hamilton cannot get to the corner. That's something they really had with Vernon Morency last year. Morency had that breakaway speed. Coming into this year, I think they were looking for that one back that has that explosiveness. Hamilton is good, but he doesn't have that huge burst of speed.
And they're expecting to get that from him as he gains in confidence.
He can
that guy
run.
right there, and the hat right there. And that's two of them that can run. Thurman Thomas to your left, Barry Sanders to your right, to the all-time greats. The penalty flags will fly.
Well, Texas made contact, but an Oklahoma State move.
Remember, Thurman Thomas kept Barry Sanders on the bench for a while here at Oklahoma
That's
State.
priceless. That's priceless, isn't it?
Dead ball, offside defense, number 44. 5 yards, second down.
That's a 5th penalty against the Longhorns. How about the numbers there? Thurman Thomas, all-time leading rusher.
There he is.
Sanders in the Hall of Fame now, 35, 56. A couple of pretty good guys. Terry Miller had great years for the Cowboys here back in the mid-70s.
David Thompson, not just a Skywalker in basketball, good runner here in Stillwater. Ernest Anderson, Tatum Bell.
Well, Texas just holding their position. 4 men on the line. They spread it out a little bit. Hamilton picks his spots, breaks over the 50, gets into Texas territory, down to the 47-yard line. Killebrew on the stop. Do you think that Texas, I don't want to say they're unnerved by the way Oklahoma State's running their offense, but they look like they're ready to get up there and start smash-mouthing people, and they just can't get the timing down.
Well, I think part of the problem is that Texas is behind 21-9 and didn't expect to be. So now they all want to go out and make a big play. They want to really get out. Look at the rushing right now, 144 yards. They're almost at their season average already. I think the Longhorns really want to get at the Cowboys, and this deliberate pace, checking the sideline and holding in there, makes you a little jumpy at times if you're the Longhorns.
And first down, and they'll keep it on the ground again. This time, Texas does a great job defensively, led by Aaron Harris, the senior out of Mesquite, Texas, from that middle linebacker spot. Here's Craig Sager with somebody who had a few yards rushing the football here for Oklahoma State. Sags?
Well, it's homecoming. You come into this game on paper, obviously Texas the #1 ranking in the BCS. Maybe a mismatch. What do you think has been the key so far?
Well, I think we're playing with a lot of energy. We're somewhat keeping Texas's offense under wraps, and you know, being in the right place on defense. So hopefully we can keep that going.
You obviously had the best rushing year in the history of college football in 1988. 2,600 yards at 34 NCAA records. You come back for a homecoming. How long does it seem ago that was 1988?
It doesn't seem that long ago. A few things have changed around here though, but no, that was a great time for me. And you know, obviously the year before that I had a chance to sit behind a good running back and learn a few things. You know, but it was a wonderful time for me.
You said a chance to play behind Thurman Thomas. Was that tough having to play behind him and make your mark on special teams?
No, it was fun. I had a great time. You know, that was my sophomore year, and the truth of it is I was happy to go in and relieve Thurman every now and then, and you know, so for me it wasn't a problem.
All right, thanks a lot. Thank you, Ron.
All right, 4th down for Oklahoma State. The last time they faced this situation, Pena hooked up with Dewan Woods for a touchdown.
And they've shown that quick, you know, rushing to the line of scrimmage, fake it inside, throw it. This time, they're going to come up again. I think they're going to have to run for it, though.
Well, Texas doesn't bunch it up as much. They go for it, and I think they've got it with Julius Crossland. He was a fullback last year. Everything is new to him at this position.
Same formation as the last time when they had the 4th down and they faked it inside and threw over the top to Dewan Woods. Even the same, coming out of the huddle quickly, tight bunch formation. This time they used Julius Crossland, a great short yardage runner, to pick up another key first down for Oklahoma State. They're controlling the clock, the chains. They're keeping Texas's offense on the bench. Game plan working to perfection for Mike Gundy and Larry Fedora. That's Gunnar Brewer on the right side in the black shirt, the wide receivers coach, signaling in play.
Look out. Pena does the right thing and just eats it, but it's going to be a huge loss back to their own 49-yard line. They may mark it at the 50.
You always hear about jailbreak screens where they allow the defense to come through untouched and then throw the screen over there. This time it was strictly the jailbreak, but you didn't have a screen to go to.
Yeah.
That was Derek Lokey, number 96, unblocked, comes in and wraps up Al Pena. And look at the field position change that he's made. It's second and forever now.
That's his first sack of the year, loss of 15 on the play. Second and 25 now from the 49. Texas is jumping, and Pena is going to change the play. I think they're going to call a timeout. Gunnar Brewer started jumping up and down on the sideline, trying to get the attention of Pena, and he finally did. And he wants to talk about it.
But you know what the problem was? They had guys in the neutral zone. And when you have a quarterback under center, you run the old freeze play. Snap the ball, get the penalty. Here in a shotgun, they often don't snap it.
Between these two teams, that means a lot. Oklahoma State has lost 7 straight to UT. Trying to snap that and had the biggest upset in college football this year.
Remember the Hippocratic oath I said the defense had to take?
Yeah.
Al Pena has to do that here. Field position has changed. They can't turn the ball over to Texas back here.
Hamilton, nothing doing. You have a feeling that Texas sensed that and said, listen, we're going to get good field position here. But this defense can win football games for these Longhorns. No question about that.
If you're Larry Fedora, the offensive coordinator for Oklahoma State, you don't want to go into a shell. You don't want to immediately just try and burrow inside. But you're also thinking, I can't have a key mistake here. I can't put my quarterback in a position where he has to make a great play. If we punt here, we've got a chance of backing them up. Let's not give them the ball on this side of the field.
Third down, and we'll call it just over 22.
Al's working without his mouthpiece.
Yeah.
He's got tucked into his helmet. It's supposed to be a rule that you have to have it in.
Well, there's a penalty flag thrown.
Dead ball. False start. 61 offense. 5 yards. Third down.
Koenig again.
Got a little twitch there. I caught it early. Saw that a little bit early there. And normally in this type of an offense, I see more of this with an offensive line, but they've handled it very well with the checks and the waiting and the holding up at the line of scrimmage. First time I've seen it from OSU.
Well, it's 28 to go. They're just going to play it safe, keeping it on the ground, getting back into Texas territory down to the 47-yard line, but they still have a lot to go on fourth down.
Well, I think it's a good play by Mike Gundy. I really do, because of where the ball is in terms of field position. Now you bring out your punter and have him try and drop it inside the 10, inside the 15-yard line, and make Texas go the long way. You know, there's risk-taking and there's being foolish. And Mike Gundy knows the difference.
Well, field position is something Coach Gundy talked about. Now, this Texas team, they've blocked 44 kicks under Mack Brown since he became head coach. And here they come. They didn't get it, and they should have. This will hit at the 5. It looks like one of Mike Holder, the golf coach here at Oklahoma State's players, golf wedge shots. Perfect. That should have been blocked. 43 yards on the kick. It is homecoming. 9:17 left in quarter number 2. Oklahoma State still leading Texas 21-9. The Longhorns take over first and 10. Ball is on their own 3-yard line. This is where this Texas offensive line has got to start dominating.
Vince Young has 106 yards rushing, but the other running backs have found no real headway running the ball inside. I mean, the team has 105 total, so that tells you their struggles. But if you're the defensive back for Oklahoma State now, read your keys and let your front 7 handle the run game.
Melvin Young maybe picked up a yard on the play. Let's take a look at our Orbit's keys to the game for the Texas Longhorns.
Well, they wanted a fast start because they wanted to eliminate hope for Oklahoma State tonight. That has not happened. Showcase the offensive line. They've averaged 256 yards per game rushing. They need to go ahead and get in sync right now. They want to be physical. They really want to get after the quarterback, Al Pena, and rattle him. That has not happened thus far tonight. Texas is trying to get going, especially with this drive being backed up.
Well, Charles now in the backfield. Young will go from the shotgun. He keeps it, and he is stopped right at the 6-yard line. He tried to lay the ball up to the 7. Maybe a pickup of 2 on the play. Roderick Johnson, his 4th tackle already tonight. The sophomore out of Galveston, Texas.
He's making his presence felt. He's filling in for Lawrence Pinson, their starter at middle linebacker who got hurt in the Missouri game, twisted an ankle, and hasn't played much since. And Roderick Johnson's confidence and abilities are shining through now as he continues to get more and more playing time.
Now here's where Texas has gashed Oklahoma State on 3rd down. Now they need only 6, but this is where Oklahoma State's got to come up. Place is going crazy. And we're going to have a timeout, and it is loud. And we'll keep it right here. You know, we look at we talked about his development at the top of the show. That offensive line has obviously helped in that development. But usually on Fridays, Mack Brown likes to talk with Vince and said, what's your favorite place? What are you comfortable with? He's kind of changed his answer over the last 2 years.
Yeah, he and Greg Davis, the offensive coordinator, previously, as we look at Vince Young's numbers from tonight, the rushing yardage huge, passing had a couple of drops that have hurt him earlier today. But what he used to say was, what do you like, Vince? And Vince would say, oh, I like anything, Coach. It all looks good to me. But now as he's grown in confidence and stature and become more of a student of the game, he's a lot more definite in what he likes. And not only does he tell him what he likes, he tells him why he likes it. That's the maturation of Vince Young as a quarterback.
3rd down and 6. They're 3 of 5 tonight. Oklahoma State brings 4. Young in trouble. Bunch of orange jerseys. Now he's looking to throw it. Pass incomplete. Great coverage by Oklahoma State. No flag. Another receiver got the hit from Daniel McLemore. Billy Pittman went up for it, and he's had a couple tonight he's taken a whack to.
They call Daniel McLemore the rabbit, but this rabbit packs a punch. And on this play, I thought 2 things that Vince Young did wrong. Number 1, I thought he tried to flush from the pocket too fast. That was the first one. He's a little bit desperate trying to make a play. Number 2, too late on the throw. Threw it into trouble. Fortunately, it was only an incomplete pass.
Richmond McGee's punt. He angles it. Hits at the 40. Picked up at the 46-yard line. McLemore has running room. Turns on to Jackson. He's going to be caught from behind at the 15. He's hard to find in the pile. He's only 5'7".
This is where a poor punt hurts your coverage, because what happened was the Texas Longhorns, trying to get downfield, had no idea where the ball was, trying to locate it so they could go and tackle the punt returner. Couldn't find it. Daniel McLemore sees all the room, picks it up on the bounce, and gashes him coming back the other way. Let's see if Mike Gundy decides to attack. He and Larry Fedora. They have Texas back on their heels again. I say go for it.
Why not? If they keep to their game plan with Hamilton, and this time that defense is starting to play a little nasty. Tim Crowder, the junior out of Tyler, Texas. Same high school as Earl Campbell, was the one who made the first hit. He's a Hendricks Award watch list guy.
They're for top defensive end in the country. Now, I understand having respect for Texas's defense and understanding they have a lot of poise. Personally, I would have to treat them differently here. You know, they're number 2 in the country. You're not even close to that. I've got to go after them while I have a shot. I've got to go while I've got them rocked back on their heels.
Loss of 1 on the play. Now Peña's going to go for it. Has some time. Throws, and he short hops it. But there were a lot of white jerseys around there, and they may have gotten a piece of his arm. Dwan Woods was the intended receiver. I'm
wondering if that's one of the better decisions Al Peña's made. And what I mean by that is he saw him covered, threw it into the ground near the receiver, so there can't be any intentional grounding, but no one can pick off the pass. Remember, he's thrown 8 interceptions in his last 2 games. Take a look. And maybe I'm giving too much credit.
Yeah, I think that was a bad throw.
I think he's trying to get it in there and just ended up throwing a bad pass.
3rd down and 11. Hamilton cuts back right into the teeth of the defense, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Roderick Wright with his 3rd tackle of the night. Boy, you just don't want to kick field goals against these guys. The points are great, but they are so powerful on the offensive side. Field goals probably is not going to beat them.
Now, if you have to kick them, you better convert.
Oh, yeah.
And this young man has done a great job all year long at kicking field goals.
Sunshine Bruce Redden. Used to have a ponytail, missed a kick against Colorado, cut the ponytails. That's enough of that. This will be a 32-yarder.
You know where the Sunshine came from. Remember the Titans?
That's right.
Quarterback they called Sunshine.
He's 3 of 4 within this distance. Good hold block. The 45th kick in the Matt Brown air block. Michael Huff coming up and got the hand on it. That might be the play to fire up the Longhorns.
Coming from the wing, there's Huff, number 7, getting to the inside, and he blocked it. Had some help there. It looked like Cedric Griffin, number 8. Huff got there long before the ball had a chance to get up in the air. What a terrific job by Texas. They've had 2 blocks themselves, and they put it back on Oklahoma State, and they'll take over on offense when we come back on TV.
Longhorns' highest ranking since 2002. They've won 23 of their last 24 road games, including 11 in a row, and you can see what they've done under Mac Brown as far as block kicks. How about 36
since 2000?
45 since he's been there.
And look at who they're ahead. The acknowledged leader in that in terms of best special teams in the country every year is Virginia Tech. That's pretty impressive.
Now let's see, Vince Young goes to work. They'll keep it again, and he's caught from behind. Fumble, the ball is loose. Oklahoma State says they've got it. They're going to have to unpile everybody on this one. They're waiting for the signal. Oklahoma State has it.
Trying to run their inside zone play. Vince Young keeps it after the fake to Jamal Charles, and the ball's popped free by number 51, Victor DeGreat, on the tackle of Vince Young. He pops it free on the inside zone. Let's take a look. See if Vince Young is down before the ball comes free. As he's going down, it's tough. Looks like the knee is down as the ball is being popped free. If you're Texas, you're hoping that you can get a replay to take a look at this before the next play. Looks like it's down as the ball's starting to work its way free. Good job of officiating, though, letting the play go to conclusion. Texas hoping for a look.
And here comes
now
the buzz.
I think they may get it.
Now it has to be 100%, certain that it was a wrong call
Previous
before
play
they
is
changed
being
it.
reviewed.
But what's good is that the officials let the play out, because what happened earlier in the year were officials blowing the play dead, and if you blow it dead, you can't review it. See, they let it go because they know the replay can hit. Right there, his knee's down. Do we see ball yet? Now we see ball.
But was it loose?
Was it loose on the other side coming free? That's what the official has to determine.
It's a tough look, too.
Tough look. Because right there's DeGreat punching at it from the backside.
Well, I tell you, can't tell if his knee's down there.
And here's the key. At regular speed, that's definitely a fumble.
Yeah.
Because if you're watching it with, the eyes the officials have, that's a fumble. Bang, bang, play. What Texas is hoping is that they get the other angle and get a look and say knee was down before ball came out. If so, Texas will be very fortunate.
Somewhere in those blacked out windows, our replay official sits, looking at the replays, going back and forth on it. They want to keep it inside of a minute and a half.
You know what it's like?
And they did.
Based on the review, play stands. First down.
I think that's a good call because you couldn't be 100%.
Exactly. I agree with you totally on that one.
You mean we got one right?
Yeah.
That's a first.
For me, it is. All right, let's go back and look at the turnovers. They're -7 in turnovers. Came into the game -9, but they've gained 2. Last year, they were +17, second in the nation. All right, what did I say last time when they picked up the ball deep in their territory? Did I say attack?
Yep.
Didn't really do so. Ran the ball in the first play. Let's see if they change their strategy a little bit here. The tough part is Texas's defense has had a little bit of a chance to kind of come on the field and relax a little bit. You know what I mean?
That's right.
They didn't just rush on and have to defend right away.
Greg Gold now in the backfield. Oklahoma State has to take advantage of every opportunity. Texas switches on the defensive line. Pena, here they come with 5. Swings it out, incomplete. Pass intended for Greg Gold. Pass was there. Gould just couldn't get a hand on it. He was a center fielder in minor league baseball. Got up to Class A. I think Mike Gundy told us yesterday, he says, you know, I miss coaching. And this is probably the time he misses actually coaching a position more than anything.
Had that hands-on, day in, day out interaction with the players. You coach them through everything.
Second down and 10. They go empty with 4 wide receivers, and here comes the rush. Pena reads it. Tip, caught! Touchdown, Oklahoma State! Dewan Woods, unbelievable! Michael Huff had an outstanding hit, but Woods was Johnny on the spot. His second touchdown reception.
Reminding me a little bit of a basketball game. Who is quicker to every loose ball right now? Oklahoma State. Great hustle by Dewan Woods on the tip.
Redden is perfect tonight on the extra point. Charles, let's look at it again.
Well, the ball never should have been thrown. Michael Huff read it perfectly, but Dewan Woods continued to hustle on the play, ran to the ball.
You are watching TBS Saturday Night College Football presented by Orbitz. Here's some scores from around the country. And, of course, coming up at halftime, Rudy Johnson will have all the scores and highlights. Mike Gundy telling us yesterday you can't yank the players' chain when it comes to Texas. They know the situation. They know that they're considered by many to be the best team in the country and that OSU had absolutely no chance. He said, we just came in, worked hard at practice, gave them our game plan, and we'll see what's going to happen. So far, so good. Taylor. Here comes the pressure. They surround him at the 10. He gets away from it. Now he's got a wall. Up over the 40-yard line and finally shoved out of bounds. And we've got a penalty flag thrown. Boy, you got to keep your emotions under control.
Dead ball, personal foul. Number 10, kicking team, 15 yards, automatic first down.
That's the kicker. Yeah. See how far he's into the white before he gives that last shove. Good call by the official. Okay, watch what happens here. The ball will be intersected somewhere around there, right? But watch where Dewan Woods comes, continuing the hustle, and where does he end up? In the end zone. Sees the play and hustles. I mentioned it before. Just as in basketball, there's a loose ball. Who's going to get to it first? Oklahoma State finished the play and benefited with 7 points.
Well, 42 yards on the return, plus 15 on the penalty. Great field position for the Longhorns. Young, caught from behind, dropped. Victor DeGray, the junior out of DeSoto, Texas, coming up to make the stop.
Back-to-back terrific plays by number 51. And if he continues that, he will be Victor the Great.
You got it.
Not just the Great. Caused the fumble by Vince Young, led to a touchdown. Gets right back into the pocket on this play and sacks him again. Another DeSoto, Texas native. We've seen a bunch of them this year. Everybody going crazy at freeloaders. The barbershop in DeSoto, Texas. Just love these young men.
Got it. Taylor now in the slot to the left. They go with 5 wide receiver set. They swing it out quickly. Oklahoma State surrounding Billy Pittman. Our first and 10 line is brought to you by Napa. And Texas needs about 5 for that first down.
Ron, we had a great conversation with Vance Bedford, the D coordinator for Oklahoma State, yesterday. Remember what he said? It doesn't take a lot of talent to get to the football. Right. Oklahoma State is flying to the ball, and every play now as we look at Texas, only 7 yards in the second quarter.
They bring 5, they keep it on the ground. Texas gashes them right up the middle. That'll be a first down as they get inside the 30. DeGray again on the tackle. Jamal Charles on the run.
You know what I'm noticing about this drive? No panic from Mack Brown's staff. or his team. They've been in this spot before, and it's worked out quite well for them. Remember, they were down big in the fourth quarter in the Rose Bowl against Michigan. Last year, 35-14 at the half against the same team.
Lead and Pittman now wide to the left. Young straight drop right down the middle, looking for a receiver for the end zone. Incomplete, off the hands of Quan Cosby. Galvin Mickens got a hand on it, did a pretty good job, so that was true freshman on true freshman.
The ball held up just enough to allow Calvin Mickens, number 27, to come back and make a play on it. And Quan Cosby, his mistake, he's got to go up and go get it.
Yeah.
See, he let the ball come to him. He's got to go up and high point the football, catch it at its highest point. See his arms? See, they're down a little? He's trying to cradle it, go up with both hands and snatch it out of the air.
Jamie Thompson almost had a Christmas gift there. That almost came right into his hands after it was tipped. Oklahoma State blitzes. Young sees it, reads it, throws it. Incomplete. Intended for Taylor.
But Ramon Taylor was not on the same page with Vince Young. He's throwing to the pylon where he's supposed to meet there on a fade route. Ramon Taylor had stopped his route about 5-10 yards into it. Don't know if he got taken over the side by the corner in a coverage and ended up bumping him off of his route, but he never was able to complete it.
Texas 4 of 7 on third down conversion.
Take a look at Taylor. See? He stopped there. I don't know if it was a stop and go route, but it seemed to me that it was supposed to be a fade by when Vince Young threw the ball.
3rd and 10. Timeout is called. And that'll be charged to Texas with 3:36 left to play in the half, trailing 28-9. In our studios in Atlanta, we'll be with you in just a couple of minutes from halftime, but what we have right now is Oklahoma State leading the number 2 team in the country. They led 21-9. At the end of one, they've added another score, 28-9. The Cowboys leading the Longhorns.
And last year was 35-7 before Texas scored with 3 seconds to go in the first half to make it 35-14, and they just took off and ran away and hid from Oklahoma State in the second half. Texas needs something like that now. Right now, Vance Bedford's guys can't take many chances on defense, Ron. Show blitz, but get to your assignments.
On 3rd down and 10. Here comes a little bit of pressure. Young steps up. He's got a lot of green in front of him. Puts the ball down. Gets stopped right at the 18-yard line by Roderick Johnson. That is going to be very close. He needed to get to the pure 18, right on the 18-yard line. It depends on where the spot is.
In any event, this is a terrific tackle by Roderick Johnson, number 2, in open field, because Vince Young thinks that anytime he's one-on-one in open field, he's going to beat you. And Roderick Johnson not only slowed him down, but made the one-on-one tackle in open field. You will not see that happen very often with Vince Young on a linebacker.
Well, he did get the first down by about a half a yard, so it'll be 1st down and 10 for Texas. Ball's on the 19, 3:10 to play. Pittman and Swede go wide to the left.
Line of Swede's been silent. He's a big target up top.
Young, he's going to tuck it and run it. Tiptoes out of bounds. They'll mark it at about the 11-yard line. Johnson again on the stop. He already has 8 tackles in this ball game. And you can see the effect of the wall. Now, there is not much room between the out-of-bounds line and the wall. We saw Lorenzo Mays here. Alonzo Mays a couple of years ago hit it, but watch this. His legs go around and he goes underneath it. There's a little kind of crevice there.
Hope he's okay. They can ill afford to lose him. Number 1, he's been playing awfully well tonight. That's Vance Bedford. Right there, his D coordinator checking on him. That's him right there at the white, looking over top. But not only that, remember Lawrence Pinson, their starter middle linebacker, has a really bad ankle, and he'll have no chance, and he has no chance to play tonight.
Yeah, Coach Gundy getting into it now, making sure everybody moves back. Here's Craig Sager.
Well, what happened on that play for Roderick Johnson, the sidelines are very close to the wall here, not much room to work. And then also the band was getting ready to come out at halftime, so their equipment was out here. So he ran down. Vince Young didn't see how much room he had, obviously not as much as he usually does, and ran into some of the equipment. Hopefully he will be all right, but usually being at the home field, he knows how much room he has, like an outfielder knows how much room he has against the wall, but now with the equipment out here ready for halftime, it's a very dangerous situation.
Well, he got up and walked away, Craig, so it's 2nd down and 2 now from the 11 for Texas.
That's his replacement, Jeremiah Burton, a redshirt freshman, number 47.
Charles in the backfield, he has it. Gets inside the 10, down to about the 9-yard line. 2:48 to play in the half. Well, Johnson's coming back on. That's a good sign. He is back. Can't afford to lose another linebacker.
No, not at all, especially one playing with the confidence that Roderick Johnson is playing with over the last few games.
Third down and 1. They bunch things up in the formation. Hall's the fullback. Melton is the tailback. He gets stacked up. Let's see where they mark it. The penetration really came in from Ryan McBean, the junior out of Euless.
He did such a great job getting into the backfield. He didn't allow Melton, number 37, who's 270 pounds, to get his momentum going forward. Watch the penetration in the front line. McBean, 93, actually was blocked and made the play from his knees.
Yeah.
That's called extra effort right there.
So they're going to look at it. Nope. They're going to bring a 4th down after Mac Brown.
It's no field goal. It's go. It's go time.
Here's Craig Sager.
Well, they're trying to get more room along the sidelines. The officials have come over and told the band to get their equipment off the field until halftime. Especially with the ball down at this end of the end zone, they will have more room to run, but the band obviously not taking center stage.
And it's also for their safety, too. 4th down and 1. Closing it on 2 minutes to play in the half.
Remember, Max already had 2 kicks blocked back in his face. Down 28-9. He's thinking 6. He needs 6 going into the half.
Yeah, I think Texas is going to burn another timeout.
Might be Oklahoma State.
Oh, Oklahoma State's calling it. So Texas has 1 timeout left, and so does Oklahoma State. Now it's time for the fan car. Nothing happened. It still is there.
I know one thing, though. They mean business here on homecoming, don't they?
Oh, yeah.
Those floats are extraordinary.
And the people here were pumped up about tonight, despite the fact they knew that they were a major underdog in this game. But what we have at hand is 4th and 1 for Texas.
To the D coordinator of Oklahoma State, you know what his last words were? Here they come, guys. Big on big right at you.
Vince Young leans forward, uses every bit of that 6'5", 230-pound frame.
I think he's got it.
I think he's got it, too. He gets behind that mean, nasty line, especially Lyle Sunline, the big center out of Scottsdale, Arizona. He's big and strong, won the job in spring. I'll tell you what, you get behind those big hogs, you're going to make some yardage.
You'd better. You know, if they're doing their job. Mac Brown likes what he sees there. I didn't think that there'd be a throwing situation. There's Lyle Sunline. Player, he got his nose mashed and a finger dislocated last week against Texas Tech, and neither one of them got him off the field. But, you know, I never thought that they would throw it there because of that big offensive line. It was time to establish a little bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage.
Pittman and Swede wide to the left. 11th play of the drive for Texas. Young looking, throwing in the middle. Touchdown, Texas. Billy Pittman. So we have a penalty flag thrown.
Holding offense. Number 73.
And it's against Texas. It's coming
10-yard
back.
penalty from the previous spot. 1st down.
It's on Jonathan Scott, the 2nd time the All-America candidate ends up getting a penalty in a key situation. Right there. 73 on 51. He drives him into the backfield. Victor DeGrade has really gotten a strong pass rush most of the evening against Texas.
Daniel McLemore's down. Looks like he may have little cramps. These guys have played awful hard today with 1:41 left to play in the half. Trying to stretch things out. You can see him massaging that right leg.
Well done, Dr. Fuller.
Yeah.
Every time you see him pushing back on the toe of the foot, that's usually trying to work a cramp out.
Just a reminder to stick around for the Chili's halftime report. Ernie Johnson will catch you up on all of today's action, including the world's largest cocktail party, UCLA's best plays of the year, and scores and highlights. And there were upsets, and there's still, or USC, I should say, is best plays of the year. There are still upsets in the making.
We're looking at one right now. And the touchdown comes off the board for Texas. Then Oklahoma State's defense capitalizes, still first and goal.
From the 18. Young play action pass over the middle, incomplete. Pass intended for David Thomas.
Same play they scored on earlier, and almost the same play they scored on just on the last play. Remember David Thomas's touchdown catch going in the other direction? Nice job by number 14, Chase Holland. Backup strong safety nickelback, putting the hit on David Thomas as he goes for it. Might have got there a tad early, but well, very aggressive to the ball. That's Greg Davis, the offensive coordinator for Texas.
Second down to go from the 18. Young tucks it right up the middle. Gets inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line before Ryan McBean makes the stop. And they're a little bit closer. This is like last year all over again, isn't it?
It is, but not with as much of a momentum swing in Texas rushing back down the field in their last drive. This has been a much more methodical drive right before the half, trying to get a touchdown, and they've gotten one that was called back due to their penalty.
134 yards rushing for Vince Young already tonight. He's got a third down and goal from the 8.
And I think that they're going to treat this as 2-down territory, or maybe they'll go 4-down territory to try and get 6 on this last drive.
Oklahoma State will burn their final timeout of the half. With 48 seconds left to play in the opening 30 minutes, and that man has done an outstanding job preparing his team for tonight's game. Hey fans, premiere week again.
And why not? They have maybe the best player in the NBA. And Timmy.
I thought you were going to say Manu.
Hey, Manu's awfully good too, isn't he?
He's not bad.
They got some talent. Tony Parker at the point. Now, partner, if I said to you before the ball game that at this stage of the game, Texas would have only been in the red zone 2 times in the first half, would you believe me?
Not a chance.
It's only their second time in the red zone in this ball game.
3rd and 8, the offensive line pointing who they're going to block. Pittman goes in motion. The pressure on Young, throws it into the flat, pass is complete, stood up at the 5-yard line is David Thomas, and that's where he's going to go down. Calvin Mickens is just a true freshman out of Beaumont, Texas. He has done a great job, and the clock goes to 32 seconds and runs. And
because it's so far on 4th down, about 4th and near 5, Mack Brown says field goal. Let's not come away empty-handed here. Great open field tackle by Calvin Mickens, number 27, before he got some help finishing off the play.
Mack Brown still looking calm on the sideline.
Remember where the penetration has been? Right in here, up the middle.
21-yard field goal for Pino. Nordgren the holder. And the kick is good as the first half comes to an end, but what a first half we had. The Oklahoma State Cowboys jumped on top early, and they head to the locker room leading the number 2 ranked Texas Longhorns, number 1 in the BCS, 28-12. A surprising turn of events. The State Cowboys